What's your name?
Bill Haley.
And can you tell me a little bit about yourself, please?
Born at an early age. I'm a designer, retired. I founded a company in Leicester, and we're a team of creatives. And now I spend a lot of my time helping accessibility issues.
What do you think about most?
Trying to see the world as it is, visually, and not take it as wallpaper. So often it's so easy to do that you go into places and you don't really look. So I've always that's what drove me to going to art school and stuff.
Yeah. What do you spend your time doing?
We have a group called All In, which is I did a lot of my work was in the US, and I saw a process called All In and worked there, where you remove barriers from accessibility issues. However, it's done by the communities themselves. They come together, they talk about it, and they come to consensus because there's so many variables on disability. You can't just sort of say it's wheelchairs. I take my camera for a walk every day. It helps me see, helps me focus, helps me look, and then it helps me remember. Again, I try and avoid that wallpaper feeling. Again, you go walk in the woods and you think it's all green and whatever, but just seeing the world fresh as much as you can, because it changes every day.
Whereabouts do you enjoy walking the most?
Well, recently it's been mostly on the canals. I live in Kibworth, so it's a good walking area. But there's plenty of places around Leicester, and then we go on holidays and I'm always out there walking the beaches. I don't know why we ended up in Leicester, because Leicester's so far from the sea, and yet I love the sea. Well, because it changes so much. Well, the eternity of it all, you know, when we're all gone and dust, you know, it's still going to be rolling in. So you're part of that process. We know more about the moon than we do about deep sea. You know, it's just phenomenal, and how big it is.
What is well-being and health to you?
I think everything we do shouldn't harm us. I've got friends who are into the biophilic world, which is buildings shouldn't harm you, and yet most buildings in some way do. You don't have enough natural light, the air cons are wrong, you're too hot, you're too cold, or whatever. So I think it is that total view of how you live your life. You're trying to find ways that make it better for everybody. As a designer as well, I mean, that's always in the back of my mind. It's part of the brief, it's always part of the brief. But I think it's forgotten sometimes, although there's more awareness of well-being and what we should be doing and how we should do it now than there was 20 years ago, that's for sure.
What does the word inspire mean to you?
It's that moment of seeing things you've never seen before and being inspired by that newness, or seeing things in a different way, like what you're doing, in fact, you know, showing people that you can change the view and the way you perceive yourself and yourself in the landscape. Yeah, I think things like that, things that inspire me. Music does. I think it helps set mood. All those hardwired bits of your brain take you back to the past. But no, I'm inspired by lots of things.
Like what?
We went to see a film. I do work at Phoenix, and we saw an Irish film about Ireland, rural Ireland in the 1970s. And it was one of those quiet, simple films where nothing much happens, but you get inspired by the fact that you've forgotten about how life is run by lots of little things, and all those little things work for you. So that was quite inspiring. I think the things that move me most though are music, probably. I think that brings a more of an emotional lump in the throat than seeing things. You're making me think.
Good. Who inspires you?
There's a lot of groups in Leicester in the accessibility world who have people that represent those communities, and they're fighting all their life for doing things. And there's lots of people I've met that do amazing things every day when they've got such barriers they have to get over themselves. No, I think it's people who do incredible things, and they're essentially they would see themselves as ordinary people. Don't get paid for it, but just make a difference.
Who is your community?
My community is usually more creative groups of people. But no, all in is really important to me. I think I've seen it work in the US on a number of projects, and Leicester needs it, and all the cities in the UK do. So I'd hope that will happen. I mean, I'm inspired by them all. I mean, they've all got such barriers they deal with every day and don't really complain about it. And because there are so many different groups, their voice is lost. So bringing together the all-in idea that the more of them together can make that happen, make things happen.